I want to know who we are as Armenians if we take away the victimization of the genocide, if we take away the earthquake, if we take away what's going now, the troubles in Artsakh, the war that's going on in Artsakh. What makes us Armenian? Is it our families? Is it our love of education? Is it our ingenuity and hard work? Is it our food, our music? What is it that's what I'm interested in learning? What it is, what's our identity?
We gather today as a proud community, one that is looking back at our history and forward toward our future.
We commemorate the genocide every year, and we call for justice, but as a community, we haven't grappled with, okay, what is it? For instance, the idea of justice and the idea of reparations, we as a community have not talked about it. We don't have one voice. It's not a unified voice, and I wish as a community we would have conversations, we would discuss, but everyone has their own perspective, and I don't know how to find consensus because it's such a horrible, painful subject. I have family on all continents of this world because of the genocide. And they're first cousins. I have first cousins around the world because of the genocide. I'm not talking generations apart. Project SAVE it's an archive of photographs, so it's very visual. Many of the photographs of the early 1900s, they're very formal, staged family portraits. It's interesting to me to look at their faces and to think, wow, I know people like that. That could be, to recognize faces in my friends and community members today, and to think it doesn't matter where we live or what time, because we are related. My grandfather was Reverend Manasseh Shnorhokian. My grandmother was Alice Khachadurian Shnorhokian. My grandfather has passed away about 10 years ago, and my grandmother about 5 years ago. And to see their handwriting, see their notes, it was really powerful to me to see that again. And to know that they didn't want to tell us. I don't know if it was act of protection or I don't know why they didn't tell us. Maybe we were too young and didn't ask the right questions, but the idea that it's captured and safe and collected here at Project SAVE was something pretty special. So this was important to me to kind of meet people and overcome my own prejudices and overcome my own, I don't want to say hatred, but a little bit of, anger and hatred by actually meeting people and saying, Turkish people are real and that sounds odd, but like that this isn't a faraway evil empire. They're my neighbors still. It was challenging. There would be times when someone would mention the hardships of being a Turk in Boston or in the US, and I really bit my tongue really hard when I was told, oh, there's bullying or uneasiness because of their Turkish identity, and I would scream in my head. I would scream, but we were murdered. You're bullied, but you're fine, right? Your family is fine. Your family is whole. You're okay. Etchmiadzin decided to give sainthood to all the martyrs. So we no longer pray for their souls because they're all sainted. And this idea of, okay, they those that died have found peace. They're saints now. And so we don't need to pray for their souls, but we can use those prayers elsewhere, almost.
The Armenian genocide is not history. It is an ongoing story like The Promise. It is an unfinished film in which we are all characters. The question is, what role will we play? What role will you play? It is time for a new chapter in this story.
In April, my cousins had scheduled a baptism for their baby daughter. And at first I was like, really? In April? We're so busy. You're making me go to this baptism in New Jersey? Like, I was so out of my mind angry. And then we went, and it was in a church. And here's an Armenian family baptizing a baby in an Armenian church 100 years later. And I was so blown away by that. And I apologized to my family, and they said, we didn't even think of it. But that idea of we did survive. We are having children and educating our children and building businesses and contributing to our society around the world was very powerful.